Family Dollar's plans to merge with Dollar Tree being investigated by state attorneys. Dollar General's attempts to acquire the company also under review. A lot of stuff here in late July. You know, the Matthews-based discount retailer announced it would be acquired by Dollar Tree in a deal valued at $8.5 billion. As Dollar General has made 3 offers since then, Family Dollar has refused those. So much in play in this story. Certainly here to join us and discuss it, Fox 46 legal analyst Corey Rosensteel. And Corey, I mean, the main issue here is really monopoly, right? FTC has to get involved. If you have 2 stores join, then you have you know, 1 less competitor, and then maybe prices go up.
That's right. You've got a competitive marketplace issue here. So the Federal Trade Commission has to get involved, and what they take a look at is how is this going to affect consumers underneath the dealer and also the suppliers above, and is this going to create some kind of an unfair trade advantage for them?
So how do they decide that? Because I mean, it's the dollar store, so you can't go above, you know, $1. Can you use the $2 Family Dollar?
Well,
what happens?
So what they have to take a look at is what kind of market share does this take? Does this involve a market share that's unfair to the consumer? Are they taking away options that could potentially cause problems in the future? So
how do you see that if that's the case? Because, I mean, you see it with airlines, you see it with cell phones and cable companies. When you do that, you do see typically a rise in prices. So how do they look at that and decide if that's the case in this instance?
Well, they have to take a look at the whole market. So who do they compete with? Well, they also compete with potentially Target, Walmart, those types of companies. And is there enough competition in the market after this merger? And of course, the question in this case is, would Family Dollar consider themselves to be a competitor with a Sam's Club or a Target, a larger retailer like that? And that's a good question. I mean, these are the questions that the Federal Trade Commission has to answer.
How do they decide that? Because I mean, I know you're not on the Federal Trade Commission, but I mean, how do you legally look at that and say, is Family Dollar a competitor with Sam's Club, with Target?
Well, there's a number of factors that you have to take a look at. It's geographic. It's the actual competitive nature. What do they sell? What do you sell? Who are your suppliers? What does your average customer look like? What kind of a broad geographic area do you cover? And will people still have options?
So even if this deal goes through, there's still all that to consider before. And we've seen the FTC shut it down.
They sure have. And you know, we've been hearing about this from back 100 years ago. I mean, this is the type of thing with things like the phone company and the baseball that people have been talking about with monopolies for generations. It's something that we've had to deal with over the years. And depending on how this Family Dollar merger plays out, all the talk about which company might buy them, the Federal Trade Commission and local state attorney generals will be taking a look at this.
So looking at Corey Rosensteel, appreciate the insight this morning. All right, on the way here, he's one of the most decorated athletes of all time. But now Michael Phelps has a rap sheet. He was busted for doing